Boys, this was the first bet I put in my account, and I'm just kind of wondering what I'm missing here. Minnesota Vikings, Miami Dolphins. So as we said, I'm watching games on a Sunday. I'm taking notes. I'm writing down. Figure out what this opening line is going to be. If it's this or less than this, we're betting it no matter what, whatever. I wrote down, what is this Vikings-Dolphins line going to be after watching the quarterback situation for the Miami Dolphins, after watching Tyreek Hill kind of get nicked up, all the different stuff that's going on. Of course, the Dolphins defense that we referenced earlier in the podcast, not looking at all like the Dolphins defense that we thought heading into the season. And this thing hit at 3. I rushed to put it in the account. There was only one book in Vegas that even posted it. And it's only moved to 3.5 at a couple of the books out there. Now it is shade. The threes that are out there are shaded towards the 3.5. And so we might end up there when it's all said and done. 45.5 or 46 is the total. Stephen, when I thought for sure, whenever we found out Skylar Thompson was going to start, that this would blast through the 4. I thought 4.5 was going to end up being the number. I am incredibly wrong, apparently. What am I missing here?
I'm confused, and I'm wondering if the market is confused with what's going on with this new concussion protocol situation with the Dolphins, because we were told that Teddy Bridgewater did not in fact have a concussion despite being pulled from the game. Nevertheless, he's still in the concussion protocol this week and limited, but could still clear the protocol. But Mike McDaniel only has Skylar Thompson to take quarterback snaps in practice. So is there a chance Teddy Bridgewater could still start at quarterback, even though he's in the concussion protocol without a it's mind. I have no idea what to think of this situation. I'm curious if the rest of the market kind of sees that as well, because if Skylar Thompson's the quarterback, I don't know why this should be 3. It doesn't make sense to me. It's almost, Adam, what do you think? I feel like the market is still not 100% convinced that Teddy Bridgewater is not starting this game.
I think it's the other side, actually, guys. I don't know that this market is as convinced on Minnesota this year as it was last year. And ultimately, I'm with you. Matt, you texted me about this when that line was still up, and I got involved as well with Minnesota at 3. But this Minnesota team has had a penchant for making games closer than they should be. And so to trust them on the road as a 3-point favorite, I can understand why there's at least some hesitation in the market. I do get a little bit worried when I see just how many tickets are on Minnesota, just how much of the cash is on Minnesota, and the fact that this hasn't moved more than it has, because it might indicate that the books have some respected money on Miami. And again, Miami has been a team that the wise guys have liked throughout. But again, is it the same Miami? You have Teron Armstead questionable. You have Xavier Howard questionable. You have Raheem Mostert questionable, which actually is a move in the right direction. So, when we look at this Miami team, I'm with you guys in saying I don't know what's left. And when you saw Skylar Thompson out there for Miami, you didn't see them move the ball. When you saw the defense giving up 3 touchdowns to the Jets in the fourth quarter, you realize, oh God, this could get bad.
Yeah, guys, I just don't look. I don't get it. I understand. Minnesota's going to win ugly. That's just the way that this team is going to be. But here's the difference between this year and last year. They're winning these games, right? That's the difference. If you want to know what the O'Connell difference maybe is for this team, is when these games were getting close last year, they were losing these games. Now these games are getting close and they're winning these games. They're on the right side of this that is going on. And look, I said this on the pod last week, and I went ahead and did it. So I sprinkled a little Viking Super Bowl at 25-1 in my account, because if you take a look, fellas, if they get through Miami this week, they go on bye to get healthy, then come back out against Arizona and Washington, we could be looking at a week 10 matchup against Buffalo with a 7-1 Vikings team, right? I mean, this team after the Buffalo game, you get Dallas, New England, the Jets, the Lions, the Colts, the Giants, and that is through week 16. Then you get Green Bay in 17, and then the Bears in 18. It is not out of the realm of possibility that we are talking about a 12-5 or 13-3. I guess it would be 13-4 Vikings team here. This team could be in the mix for the 1 seed in the NFC. And so I just listen. The schedule just is so soft moving forward outside of Buffalo and Dallas, if you want to consider Dallas, one of those teams that's up there. So I made the sprinkle, and I feel pretty good about it, actually.
All right. If you want to get in on side action at over 12.5, let me know.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, 13. Well, yeah, you said it at 12.5.
Oh, of course I did, because you see that's the highest number you gave me.
Hey, listen, 11.5. You got yourself a dance partner. That's for sure. But its team's going to win ugly. I think they win this one. Probably win it ugly. But it's I don't know. Shocker to me. A 7th round rookie didn't really affect the line other than a half a point. That's what it's kind of looking like.
To your point, Matt, I think there's maybe some credit to you guys for not having recency bias. I wonder if there is a little fatigue with the Vikings because they've won 3 straight games, but they haven't covered the closing number in any of those. So maybe some people getting burned on them and not wanting to go back to the well on the road as a favorite. But if just checking in with the Vikings offense, 9th in EPA, 3rd in success rate. Kirk Cousins, 12th in dropback EPA, 4th in success rate. 17th in rush EPA, 4th in success rate. Very strong offense. They're doing what we expected them to do under Kevin O'Connell, if not being in the elite tier. And I'm with you on them. I bet Vikings Super Bowl futures before the start of the season at 40-1. I see no reason to back off of them with what appears to be a pretty wide open NFC. But for me, I just want to make sure that Skylar Thompson is actually the starting quarterback this week with this weird Teddy Bridgewater situation that is very much unprecedented with the protocols. This is a new situation we haven't seen.